How's it going, everybody? JB from DragonDen Productions here, and today we have the special edition Deadpool and Wolverine Deadpool from Hot Toys and Sideshow Collectibles. Let's dig into this. And here we have it out of the brown shipper box. This thing is cool. So on the front, you can obviously see you have Deadpool, the Sideshow Collectibles Sideshow exclusive sticker on it, Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's really nice and embossed, and actually it's a slipcover. So when you slide it over, it's got this clear plastic there for where the claw marks are on both sides that go around the sides. I'll give it a, yeah, there we go. Let me get a turnaround. You can see the sword goes around the side. Very cool. The Deadpool 1/6 scale collectible figure on the side there. On the back, you have all the important information, different companies that worked on it, different retailers that sell it throughout the world. Along this side, you can see more where the slashes come across. It's really cool. And it is a slip cover, so when you slide off, you unveil the Deadpool figure. Very neat. All the accessories and everything that comes with it. On the side here, we have Deadpool special edition right there. You get a really cool logo here on the back of Deadpool, the Deadpool logo with the Wolverine coming through. And then same as the other side, another Deadpool MMS 746 1/6 scale collectible figure. On the top here it just says the Deadpool, and it's nice and really well printed there. And then on the bottom of it, you get the Deadpool and Wolverine logo. So we're gonna go ahead and stop the video quick, tear into this box, and get all the stuff out. And here we have him out of the box with all of his accessories. You get a lot of accessories with this figure, so just bear with me. We'll start over here on the left hand side. You get his baby pool carrier, which does unbuckle in the back to go around him, and then you put his arms through the shoulder things, and baby pool will fit in there. You get baby pool. Baby pool has sets of eyes, just like you get with every Deadpool figure. They're magnetized inside. You push up and they pop right off. I'll do it with the Deadpool figure here in a little bit. These are very tiny and kind of hard to get off, but we'll get a close-up of that. For Baby Pool, you get, and I know these are very tiny, but his little cups with the binkies on the end. I can't remember the little nipples. They do have tiny, tiny, tiny little pegs on them, but it'll peg into his arms or into the palms of his hands. His hands have little holes, or he also has holsters on the side for his little cups. It's hysterical. You have the Deadpool figure. We'll get more into him in a moment. You have all sorts of different eyes for Deadpool himself. Just like typically with all Sideshow collectibles and Hot Toys, you get extra wrist pegs in case one were to break. You get two, it looks like two extras. That's very nice. I love how they do that. You have all sorts of different hands for Deadpool. You have his thumbs up, you have his okay hands, you have two fingers pointing, you have one finger pointing like that, you have his trigger or his gun holding hands, you even get a set of heart hands. And then you have his open palm hands. We'll get better shots of those up close as well. You get, and this is what everybody's been waiting for, Dogpool. It's so funny. We'll get some more close-up shots of that in a moment. You get Deadpool. He does come with an action style spinner, so it looks like he's flying. And he does come with a static style one. Be very careful with this. It is plastic and it's very thin. Peg it in very gently. Don't want anybody to break their very expensive collectible. You get Baby Knife from the movie. You get his Desert Eagles, his standard black Desert Eagles. They do articulate, so it does open and close, and the magazine does go in and out of the bottom. Very cool. You get, if you got the special edition like I did, you get the gold Desert Eagles that he stole from Nice Pool. Very nice. And they also articulate, and the magazine does also drop out of the bottom. Very, very cool. You get his katanas. This is magnetic. It magnetizes to his back very easily. Just clips right on. One detail a lot of people will miss, and we'll try to get a close-up of this, but on the ends of his blades, now, this is one thing I was wondering. There are 4 initials on the very bottoms. You only see him once throughout the movie that I can tell. And it's for the Golden Girls. They're the initials of all 4 Golden Girls right on the bottom of the blades. The blades do come out of the sheath. No problem. They are plastic. They are not metal. So they only go in one way, so you're going to have to want to watch how the swords are arched through there. And then you also get the special Deadpool and Wolverine base. If you got the special edition, it comes with a waist grabber, and it also comes with this right here that attaches. This is to attach Deadpool onto the base and make it look like it's flying around. You do have to unscrew on these to get these to go on. To get these on easier, this cap does pop off. So it allows you to slide these on much easier. Be careful, these screws are very small. I almost lost one of the little nuts for it myself. So, and also, when you're putting these on, go ahead and put the waist grabber around your Deadpool figure and then slide it on. That way you can get it at the height that you want it without having to double back and check again. Really quick, we're going to get some really nice close-up shots of some of these things, so be right back. Okay, so Dogpool himself only stands. See, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but he only stands at about 2.5 inches at his head. Actually, let's see here. So his head can raise. So we were sitting, yeah, right at about 2.5 inches tall. And he is, from tongue to tail, about 3.25 inches long. So he is very small. Now, he does have articulation. His tail does not move. It's permanently there. It's a little bit of a rubber, so it does flex a little bit, but does not actually articulate. His head, he can look down, he can look to the right, he can look to the left. That tongue cracks me up. He can look down a bit. His paws, only his front paws articulate. They can go in, they can go out just a little bit, then go forward a bit. Not too far. He does have the little Deadpool logo for the collar. He is a really cool figure you get. Next, we have Baby Pool. So, I went ahead and plugged in his little sippy cup into his hand. So as you can see, it's in there. It's not coming out. On this hand, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but you can see a tiny little hole there. That's where it pegs into. It really was not that difficult to peg that in. It actually worked very well. Now his arms only go forward and backwards, up and down. You can do 360 degrees all the way around. His head turns to the right, turns to the left. No up and down. His legs, they are on a little bit of a ball joint. So he can kick forward. If you twist his leg, you can kick those forward all the way, and you could get him sitting in just the right spot. His ankles also have a pivot, so they will spin 360 degrees around. All right, straighten his legs out. If you want to put him in the harness, put his hands down, spread his legs out. I like to kick him forward a little. Whoop. Well, he's in there now. I like to kick his feet forward a little bit. And he just sits right inside. Kick those forward a little bit more. There we go. And he just sits right in that harness. And when he's up against Deadpool, that kind of holds him in place. His little sippy cups do fit in his little utility belt. You can see how it's got a hole there with the peg, which, see if we can get a good shot of that peg there. Let me try to get a hold. There we go. Itty bitty tiny little peg there. You want to put that peg facing backwards. And it just kind of snug fits in there. There's nothing that holds it in other than the tension. Okay? So, you put his arm down. But that is Baby Pool. Now, really quick, I wanted to talk about these weapons. I don't know how well this is going to show up on the camera. So you get his Desert Eagles. Let me put a slide forward there. There we go. All right. On the bottom of the magazine, you can obviously see it's got the Deadpool logo. Slide that back in. And I mean, it literally, you just get it in there, and it just slides in. It doesn't click or anything. You kind of have to use your fingernail to pull it out. Very easy. But this is how much detail they go into. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but on the ends of the barrels there, it does say, "Smile, wait for flash." That is hysterical. Just like his pistols in the movie. And on Nice Pool's pistols, his pistoleros, on the barrels, unlike Deadpool, because we are talking about Nice Pool, on the front of his barrels, it does say, "So sorry." And the magazine, they're literally the same weapons, just in a gold painted scheme. Very easy to move and get into place, just like the other ones. Honestly, I think the slide and the magazine come out on the gold one a little bit easier. Well, swipe those away. Head pull. Okay, he does have an articulated jaw. It is very, very, very loose. So trying to get it into a position you can either do open or close is what I'm finding. Yeah. I don't know if the microphone here, let me. Just by doing that, that jaw's opening and closing. On the top of the head, you have one tiny little hole. That is where your top spinner, the little helicopter propeller, will plug into. Be very careful. This is a hard plastic material. I could see, snapping this off on either one of these very easily. So inserting, I will get it into place, and I will gently twist while keeping pressure in the middle, right above that peg, and get it in there just so it stays. Now when you peg him into the stand, it'll look like he's flying around. On the back of his head, there is another peg hole. That is to peg him into the stand. There's a little wire that's got a peg spot. That's where you'll peg that in. You do not peg it in the bottom. There's nothing there to do it there. So, now that we've gotten this stuff taken care of. Let's move on to Deadpool himself. And here we have Deadpool. This is an awesome, awesome figure. First things first, we'll talk about the hands. So I went ahead and put his gun in his pistol holding hand. These hands are made of a whoops. Well, now I'm just dropping everything. They are made of a rubbery material, so you can kind of bend that open. You don't have to worry about the paint chipping. So, open his hand up, put his gun in, his finger goes in the trigger holster, or trigger guard, sorry, and fits very nicely. These do just peg in to the wrist pegs like all other Sideshow figures that I've ever done a review on. Now we'll talk about Deadpool. We're going to fly through this. T-pose. Arms go out about that far. His shoulder pads kind of block it, but I don't think you really need much more than that. Straight down. His arms bend forward. Oh, let me straighten that out. They can go straight out. Backwards. They can go back about that far. Elbow bend. You do have double jointed elbows. Very nice. So you can get that nice heart. If you put the hard hands on, you can get his hands right up next to each other and get, I don't know if I can do it, but you can do the heart with the hands. Very nice. One thing I always am cautious about with these is with these suits is when you joint or bend those elbows and the knees, you know, this is a slightly flexible material. Doesn't really have much of a stretch. This one I've noticed has more give to it. There's more slack in the suit, so you don't have to worry about those joints rubbing as badly and wearing a hole through it. So that's very nice. He does have bicep twist under that suit. So not a whole lot, but you can get them up and in there nicely. All right, and out about that far. Wrists can spin 360 degrees and can bend in and out. When you remove the hands, these wrist gauntlets are looks like a clasp for around the wrist. They do come off. So make sure when you put his hands on, don't lose those. He does have ab crunch. Can look down about that far. And back just a little bit. It's a little tight. His head. We can do a 360 degree turn with that head. He can look down quite a bit, very nicely. He can look up quite a bit as well. That's awesome. He does have side to side head tilt. Very nice. Legs. Let's bend that arm up. Kick out. Well, I don't give him ab crunch. He can only kick out about that far. And backwards, he does not go back very far. You can get a little bit of a walking pose, though. Let's do the knee. The knees are double jointed as well. Very, very nice. He does have a little bit of a thigh twist. Very nice. Ankles. Well, let's do calves first. Let's see if he does not have any calf twist. Ankles. Toe tip. And toe up about that far. Do not have ankle pivot side to side, but you can turn it. All right. As far as his weapons go, you can see his holster right there. Bring one of his guns in. That just kind of slides. It's kind of hard to do without looking. Slides right in. There we go. Easy. His baby knife holster. The knife just slides right in. And you don't really have to worry about them falling out upside down if you're going for an upside down pose. I will say, the texture that they do on the bottom of his boots, just outstanding. All right. Showed this earlier, but the swords just magnetize right to his back. You can reposition them. You can kind of tilt them. Depending on how you're posing your figure, this gives you a little bit of range of motion. Very nice. His eyes. I said I would talk about this with the baby pool. to do the eyes, you kind of push on the bottom of the eye and it pushes it out. Get your finger underneath and it just comes right out. There's a little magnet inside there. And I just dropped it again. Make sure you have, oh, that's the wrong eye. Take your other eye that you're going to replace it with. We'll do the big open eye. And it just goes right in there. So that's the eye I just replaced right there. Very simple. See if I can do it off, facing away. So push up, pull off, put into position, and kind of give it a little press. They're that simple. And you don't have to worry about them falling out. Very cool. Now, I do have the Deadpool from Deadpool 2. From Sideshow and Hot Toys as well. Side by side. And they both have, if I want to take his swords, oh, you cannot do that. So, different polarity magnets. You cannot take the swords from this Deadpool and put it on him. But, you can stick them back to back. So, back to back side comparison. The new Deadpool is just a hair taller. Not much. Let's see how tall these are in comparison to each other. The new Deadpool is right at about 12.5 inches. Last Deadpool, just a hair under that. So, people are wondering, should I get the new one versus the old one? That's your choice. You can see there's two different shades of red there. Obviously you have the new suit. This one was older. Same suit he wore in Deadpool 1, he wore in Deadpool 2. So, lots of slight differences. The belt is one. This belt, you could move the bag or his little pouches around. This one does not have that. More of a metallic red on his shin guards versus more of a matte. They went more with the golden red versus just straight black and red with this. So, I'll move him back off camera. Awesome, awesome figure. Now we'll get into my articulation and my final review points. And here we have them all put together in his glory. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. I will note really quick that this is one of the articulated stands. So you can bend this post to whatever position. So you could want to do a jumping stand. Cool. If you want to have them just standing straight up, you can do that. Very nice. So, articulation. We gave the 1/6 scale Batman a perfect 5 out of 5 and a 10 out of 10 overall. Just in Sideshow and Hot Toys fashion, I will say, bring the other Deadpool in. As far as articulation goes, it seems like Hot Toys steps up their game every time. As far as articulation goes, I mean, man, they always seem to just step it up. It's awesome. I'm going to give this Deadpool, I can't imagine wanting much more out of this figure. Articulation, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 5. He's right up there with Batman. I'm so impressed. Overall, with all the accessories you get, all the possibilities, this one's getting a 10 out of 10. And just keep in mind, these are not sponsored videos. This is me going out and personally purchasing this stuff. I couldn't be happier with this. This is absolutely amazing. The ability to bend and move him as much as you want, pose him how you want, pose Deadpool exactly how you want. Just awesome. I'm so thrilled to have this in my collection. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if there's something you'd like to see in the future, please let us know in the comments. I do have the Wolverine from this movie as well, pre-ordered. When it comes, I will do a video on it as well. I'll bring Deadpool back into it and we'll do a side-by-side comparison with the two of them together. Thanks for watching.
Hey, here's another DragonDen video you might like.
And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button.
And you can hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when our videos come out.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.